Hi people, this is AAGadgets. Welcome to the dark room. This is going to be a 4 episode series. This episode in particular is going to feature the display of the Ambilight show and give you a slight introduction to the dark room. So in this video in particular, I'm going to be playing piano over it with one of my guests, Jaden, who's also going to be playing. And the reason why I'm going to be playing that is to avoid copyright strikes without you, so I can actually use the Ambilight demos without using their audio. So fair use policy. So that's also the reason why I'm going to be splitting this series into 4. The second, third and fourth is going to also feature some of my favorite music videos that works good on the TV with the setup. It's also going to have some movies that also work good, so you can see the difference between fast moving animations and slow moving. Then I'm also going to have some game trailers as well, or maybe some gameplay, but so I don't have to re-edit all of this, I'm going to split this up in 4 because this is going to be my first upload. So what you're going to see throughout this Ambilight show, my main front wall where my TV is, you're gonna see mainly Philips Hue. Now, the Philips that I've got and the majority of the Philips that looks the best in the room is actually built into the TV. So obviously the TV's got LEDs all going all the way through the TV. It's one of the TVs that was fortunate enough to have the actual connection between the hub without a sync box, so I can connect 10 bulbs or 10 whatever Hue models they're out there, and I've got a varied amount of different type of lights, from tubes to bulbs to like the bloom and the Hue Go and gradient light strips and things like that. I've also got on the front wall the Govee gaming strip, which is like a tube around my guitar pedal board, and also going around a couple of the cupboards up the dartboard as well. Like what you're gonna notice on the Govee can carry gradient through, whereas the Philips Hue can only do one color from each of them separate bulbs that you add to the system. So the Govee is operating through the desktop, so that's all going through my computer. I've also got another Hue hub that is operating through the computer. There's 10 bulbs, like some of the bulbs are behind me. I got 3 on the top, and I got 1 spotlight outside in the hallway. So my main one that goes on my TV, there's 10 bulbs or 10 different lights. 5 of them are in the spotlight outside, and that gives an effect of extending the atmosphere and dynamic and the ambience that we get in the room. I've been adding them over the last year. So let's get started. Is there anything more I need to say? What I almost forgot to say is I've also got Govee wrapped around the whole room. So on the outskirts of the main focus of the TV, because the Govee lights, they have a different lighting scale. So what I've noticed is the lights that blend with the TV the best are part of the Philips TV system. It's completely different to the Philips sync box. I haven't actually seen the sync box, so I don't know how the sync box works, but this has 10 bulbs that you can link to the TV direct in the TV. You would have had to have a TV from about 4 years ago, before Philips and Hue broke into separate companies, because I believe Philips sold Hue, and that's the reason why they're not built into the TV anymore. So the reason why I think the sync box isn't as good is because I've also got the Hue link on a separate hub on the computer, which syncs, I believe, similar to the sync box. And what I find is the lights don't tend to turn off as good, and they're a bit too sensitive. So when you don't want it too bright, it ends up being too bright. But the ones that are linked to the TV works a lot better. But like I said, the Govee has good things to it that in some cases work better than the Philips Hue. Apart from the fact that the colors, when you're using DreamView, which you could only use on the PC desktop, it tends to not have that much control on the colors, and the colors don't match what's on the TV, and you're going to be able to see that throughout. But in some cases it's harder to see than others, and things are going so fast that it's very difficult to actually tell, and for that to make a big difference in terms of should I have it or should I not have it, especially if it's wrapped in this type of way where it's wrapped around the outskirts of the actual system. So like the main look where I'm looking at, I can't see behind me unless I've got the cameras on, so it doesn't really matter what's going on behind, but it gives that same effect that everything's changing colors at the same time. And really your eyes are looking at the TV, and the type of ambience that it brings, it doesn't distract you from the TV. All of the lights are out of view, and it really kind of hones you in to what you're looking at and what's going on in the screen. Like when I extended it to the hallway, I had an idea and I thought, I kind of like the fact of keeping the door open. I like the darkness from the hallway. I like the fact that it just lights up and kind of turns off at the same time. So that was something I added a bit later on in the Ambilight show. But without further ado, let's get this started. Okay, so that was me. Look, with two little tunes, one by Ludovico Einaudi, second by Chopin. Now my brethren's gonna jump on the piano and he's gonna play a little Erik Satie or Erik Satie or however you say it. Yeah. So we're gonna switch view. Yeah, so I hope you did like that. That was some nice playing from Jaden with that little Erik Satie piece. Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate that on my little piano sections I did make a little mess up and he did have a little odd note, but what we tend to find is when you record, it seems like there's a lot of pressure and there is pressure and always pressure to try and make everything perfect, but whenever you're recording it seems to something's always gonna mess up, so you just have to carry on, go with the flow. And I hope you lot enjoyed the vibes. Like there's gonna be plenty more pianists gonna be playing on future episodes, but like for this particular episode, this was just about the lights. This was about the Philips demo, and I'm gonna play one more tune just to finish off that last video. And I'm probably gonna have to add another tune to the playlist, and we're just gonna cut it there when my tune finishes. Yeah. So I might mess up a little bit on this one, but just like I said, shit happens, you know. So excuse my French. And after this, I'm gonna put up a little credit so you can, if you enjoyed the content, like and subscribe, and hope to see you on the next episodes. And things are gonna get a lot more interesting as we go along. This is just first bit of content, first little editing I'm doing, first everything, you know. And we all have to start somewhere, but there's gonna be a lot, like from singers, pianists, guitarists, bassists, studio sessions, gaming, old school games, emulation. Gonna be playing games from SNES, Game Gear, MAME, arcade, you know, to the new games like Call of Duty, Resident Evil, you know, Silent Hill, maybe some Red Dead Redemption, some Cyberpunk, some Indiana Jones, whatever people like, you know. If you like something, you got a piano request, let me know, and I'll see to it that one of the pianists out of the network can come and perform that. But we're gonna have some really wicked performances coming up soon. Yeah, but definitely stay tuned for this series, because this is the introduction of the light show, and you're gonna see why the dark room is called the dark room. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the Ambilight show. You're welcome to the dark room anytime. Please like and subscribe. There's gonna be a lot more, like I said, there's going to be a lot more pianists, a lot more musicians coming through. But not just that, I'm going to be doing a lot of how-tos, a lot of tech videos. I'm going to show people pretty much everything that I do in terms of how I set it up, exactly how to do it, how to stream, how to get things to the highest quality, how to make life easy, how to set up loads of shortcuts on the Apple Watch. There's quite a lot of things I'm going to be able to show you, and I'm happy to show you. Later on, I'm going to be setting up my Patreon. It's already set up, but while my YouTube's starting, everyone's free to ask me any questions. Please like, comment, subscribe, tell me, ask me any questions that you want, anything that you want help setting up with, you know, and I'll do my best to help. I'll respond to the comments, and I'll even might make some videos to help people. Like, a lot of what I'm gonna be doing is gonna be helping a lot of old school people, mums, dads, uncles, set up shit. Like, I'm gonna make the videos nice, easy, that anybody can understand. That's what I was good at. That's what I do for my business. Show people technology, explain technology, and help them get their shit together. But rather than me coming to your house or coming to your shop and doing it, I'm going to be setting up things from my place of comfort this time. you know Everyone's free to ask me any questions you want, so get the comment in, and I hope to see you on episode 2, 3, and 4 of this series. And this is just the beginning, so the rest of the stuff is going to be a lot of, like I said, how to's. And I'm going to be streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and of course you can ask me questions there as well. Yeah, so until next time, bless up, and like I said, like and subscribe. Don't make me ask you again. Bless.